Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar. I'm sure one of the most highly anticipated webinars of the year, but today we are going to be launching our all-new calendar feature. So I'm Abby, and I'm one of your customer success managers, and I'll be taking us through the webinar today. I'll be doing a bit of a demo as well, but I also have my amazing colleague Tanya on call with us. Tanya is our business analyst for Prospect, and she's very much been the driving force of this calendar feature. So it's all thanks to her that it's all come together very well. I am recovering from an illness, so I do apologize if my voice sounds a little croaky. I will try my best, though, to still give us a really great webinar today. So without further ado, let's get stuck into the agenda. So Tanya's going to start off by giving us a quick timeline review of how all of this started, because it started back when we first released the new task feature. So it'll be great to hear from Tanya a little bit about how we got to where we are now. I'll then give us a really quick kind of top benefits of using the CRM calendar, and then we'll get into the obviously most exciting part, which is the live demo. And then after that, what you guys are going to be most excited to hear is when is it available? How can you get it? What are all the details with that? So we'll do that at the end. And then of course, we've got an area for Q&A. So if you have any questions during today's webinar, there should be a Q&A section down below for you to write any questions in. Tanya might be able to answer some whilst I'm doing the demo. If not, there's a Q&A section at the end where we'll go through everybody's questions. So it should be a really exciting session today. So over to Tanya to get us started.
Hi everyone, as Abby so kindly introduced me already, I'm Tanya. I worked with the developers over the last few months to develop these new features that work hand in hand so nicely, and you'll see during the demo. It all started with research and investigations, and we had our first webinar, the early adopter soft launch for the CRM tasks back in July, where we delivered a demo and we were looking for early adopters for these new features. So some of you were part of this early adopter program. You reached out to us and wanted to help us design this feature so nicely so that everyone can benefit of and see the value of this feature. We received and actioned on a lot of feedback from you. I had one-to-one calls with some of you. I also sent out a few survey and feedback forms, which you so kindly filled in, and it was really good for us so that we saw the direction in which you'd want us to take these features. So after receiving the feedback and actioning on it, we started developing the calendar as well. So we had the tasks and now the calendar. We worked on it over the past few months, and now we are ready today to have the official launch of the new calendar feature. We're really excited, and we really hope you're going to like it. But we want to hear your thoughts, so we want to gather your feedback, and that's why starting from January, we would like to get more ideas from you, see how you find the new calendar, see how you're dealing with the new tasks, if you like everything or not, if you have any tweaks or suggestions that you might have.
Amazing. Thank you, Tanya. So on to the top benefits of using the CRM calendar. So it is a real-time view of your Outlook calendar in the CRM. So within this, you'll be able to see all of the meetings you have in your Outlook calendar in the CRM, including your CRM tasks. They're all going to be centralized in one view for you to easily manage your workday straight from within the CRM. And of course, with that, you'll also be able to do a bit of event management. So you'll now be able to create those events or meetings within the CRM directly. And these will, of course, sync back to your Outlook calendar. You'll also then be able to even link these meetings to CRM records. So it's going to be really great for visibility of your customer interactions and be able to just manage what you're doing when on your CRM. And of course, in this, we also have a setting for calendar sharing. So admins can actually configure the calendar sharing control. So this is whether all of your CRM users can see other users' calendars or not. So you'll either be able to have them all see details or just see that they've got time blocked out and show as busy, which we'll show you during the demo. But yeah, all very exciting. So let's get into the demo, which is the definitely most exciting part. So here is the CRM calendar view. So we've already gone ahead and integrated this to the Outlook calendar. What you guys will see when you first open up is just a grayed out screen and it will ask you to connect. It's a really simple process. You just click connect and you log into your Office 365 account and it will automatically integrate to it. You will need to be a CRM admin and you will need your Microsoft admin permissions to be able to do this. But don't worry, we've got it all in a guide, so it's really easy for you to follow along. But once that's all done, you should get a screen very similar to this one. So here I am just in the month view. Obviously, this calendar is very busy. So to take you through, first of all, you can obviously see all of the events. So if I was to click on sample updates, I'll be able to see on the right-hand side all of the details of the events. Obviously, if you have more than 3 events in the day, then you've got a little section here that will show you all of your events for the day. If you then hover over it, it will tell you the specific timings for you. And of course, also, if you've got any tasks set for that day, you can see them here. So I can see on today, Wednesday 11th, I've got a task for send pricing updates. And I can tell it's a task because I've got that little tick next to it. Okay, and then on the right-hand side here, you'll also notice we've got a smaller calendar view. So this is actually going to be really useful if you want to see only certain dates. So perhaps next week, I only want to see what I've got on Monday and Wednesday. What I can do is I can just drag my mouse along here and highlight just those 3 days. So now my view has changed and I'm just seeing those 3 days in a bit more of a detailed view. So I can see by hour what events I've got on those 3 days. What we also have, if we go up here, is different views. So currently we have work week, which is Monday to Friday. We've got week, which is Saturday to Sunday. And then we've got the month view that I showed you at the beginning. So if I go to work week, this is now showing me for next week, Monday to Friday, all of my events. But actually, I want to see what I've got this week. So I can easily navigate back to today at any point by clicking the Today button next to that. And that's now taking me to this week's view. So if we talk through this view a little bit more, you'll notice that there are quite a lot of meetings here. The colors actually correspond to the Outlook categories that are already set up in your calendar. So if, for example, I click on here, you can see the category is red for customers. So this is already set up in your Outlook. We just immediately integrate it to the calendar. If you've then got any all day events, you can see that in the top here in the all day section. This is where you can see all day events, but as you can notice, you can also see your tasks. So today I've just got one task, which is to send pricing updates. But if we have a look at Monday's view, I had 3 tasks. And so if I was to click on this, it'll actually pop open on the side those 3 tasks, and I can either easily complete them or view details all within the same screen of the calendar. So if you needed to change the date of this task, you can do so while still seeing your events. And I can tell the difference between an event and a task, so an all-day event and a task, with the tasks again having this little tick icon next to it. So on Friday, you can see it doesn't have that tick next to it, so that means it's an all-day event. And again, if I was to click into this, I'll see event details rather than the task details. Okay, so I've taken you through the month view and the work week view. We've also, of course, got the week view, which is Sunday to Saturday, so it gives you a bit more of a zoomed out approach, but you can also see just a day's view. So here we are seeing, I think this is, yep, the 8th. So I can see which day it is, either up here or in the calendar view on the right. And again, if at any point I want to come back to today, I can click today. And this is now showing me today's view. And if you wanted a little bit more of a concise view, so actually I don't need to know that at 11 o'clock I don't have anything on, I just want to see what events I have. If we go to the top right-hand corner, we've got a list view. So this is only going to show you the events that you have as well as the tasks you've got for that day. So a little bit more of a concise view for you. Okay. And then if we head back up to the top right-hand corner, you'll also see we've got a drop down here. So This is actually where you can see other users. So if I was to click into here, I could see other users' calendar. Now we don't have them integrated here. So if I go into this view here, you can see what this would look like. So currently I'm actually viewing Tanya's calendar. And in this profile, we don't have calendar sharing set up. So because I'm logged in as myself, viewing Tanya's calendar, I can only see that she's busy or tentative during these times. I can't see any of the details to do with her calendar, only that she is busy. But of course, I can still see if she's got any CRM tasks set for the day. And we've also got this area in the bottom right-hand corner for tasks today and overdue. So if we go back to my calendar view, and if we go to the month view, you might be asking, okay, well, what if I've got a private appointment? So a private appointment is something you can set in Outlook, and it basically just hides any of the details from anybody who can view your calendar. Well, don't worry, we integrate that too. So as you can see here, I've got a private appointment, and this is just showing up as private appointment to anybody, even if you've got CRM calendar sharing turned on. Obviously, because it's my appointment, I can see the details on the right-hand side when I click on it. But if anybody else was to do that, they wouldn't be able to see it. So we've still got that as a bit of extra privacy for you. Okay, so that's the calendar. Obviously, quite self-explanatory of how it works. So if we go into the event section now, so I've shown you a few times now that if you actually click onto an event, you'll be able to see details on the right-hand side here of the event. So I can see that there is a reminder set. I can see that I'm set as busy, the category, start date, end date. What's also really amazing is that you can actually join the Teams meeting from the CRM. So if I was to click join on Teams, it will open up the Teams view for me and you can jump straight into the meeting. Now, how to actually create an event within the CRM, because obviously if you create an event in Outlook, it will sync over to the CRM. But for ease, you can also just directly create it in the CRM. So you've got two options. If you're already in the calendar view and you're thinking, okay, I actually want to create a meeting at 3:30, I can just go ahead and click on that little area within the calendar. And as you can see, it's set it to 3:30 today. And I've got this creation area here where I'll fill out all of the details. But perhaps if you're on a quote screen or a record or on an opportunity, then you're not going to want to have to go back into the calendar to create an event. So if I wanted to create one from a different record, I would actually use the global create button here and just go straight to event. Okay. And from here, you can fill out the normal details you would in Outlook. So perhaps here I want to create an event called Milu quote discussion. So I want this to be a Teams meeting. And so I'm going to select Teams here on the online meeting. We've only got it integrated to Teams so far because, of course, it's only your Outlook calendar. But do watch this space. You can then also set a reminder. So this is going to be an Outlook reminder for if, 15 minutes before the meeting's happening. Here you can also choose to link it to a CRM record. So before, when I was beginning the webinar, I mentioned you can link it to a CRM record. This is where you would do so. So I'm going to set this to be under the company Milus because this meeting is all about all of their quotes. So I'm going to create it there. You can, of course, invite attendees. So it's going to show you your users initially, and then obviously you can free type any email into there. So if perhaps you wanted to add somebody from Milu into this meeting, you can do so. And of course, if you wanted to add an optional attendee, you can do so by clicking optional there. You've then got details to do the start date and the end date. So this is only going to be a 30-minute meeting. If you wanted it to be all day, then you've got that here. We've also got the ability to create repeating meetings. I'll speak about that a little bit later on in the webinar, but this is where you would set that. And if you've added an attendee to somebody who's in your organization, similar to Outlook, it's going to give you time suggestions for when you're both free. So that's going to be really handy for you. And here You've also got locations. So these locations refer to your Outlook locations. No need to do any separate configuration. We integrate it straight for you. Okay. I apologize. Um, you've also got the description area there. So sorry, everybody. Where you would add any of your description there, and then you would create it. Amazing. So now we've created that event. And if we go back to the calendar view, you'll notice it's been added in here for us to see. Now, what's really important to note that once you create an event in the CRM, you can't actually make any changes within the CRM apart from as to whether the record is linked to a CRM record. All of these other details are read only, but we have an easy link here that will open it in Outlook. So using that link, I easily opened it in Outlook, and here you can make any changes. So actually, I've decided I need this to be at 4 o'clock instead. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click send. And then if we go back to our calendar here, in the top right-hand corner, we have a refresh button. So if you notice, here is my meeting. When I click refresh, it should instantly update with my change. So there you go. So if at any point you want to just make sure that you're viewing your live calendar, you can click the refresh button there. So if any changes have been made, you've got the refresh button there. Okay, great. So if I now open that event back up, let's talk through a little bit about what the linked record actually means. So if I open this up, so I'm now in the company record that I linked that event to. So if I go to the activity section here, you'll notice I now have an entry saying we have a meeting here in the upcoming section. So what I was talking about before, this is giving you some really great visibility to see when you've got meetings and perhaps when you've already had meetings. So if I actually collapse this upcoming and overdue, you'll see that 4 hours ago, myself and Tanya had a meeting. And if I click on this little hyperlink here, it'll give me details of the meeting. So it's really nice and easy. And again, if I go to the one that I just created here and I click to open it, I've got the join on Teams button here as well. So if perhaps you're doing some work in the CRM, you're on this record and you notice you've got a meeting coming up, you can quite easily just quickly join it from the CRM, or of course, make any changes within Outlook. Okay, so if we go back to the calendar view here, and if we speak about the reoccurring events, so reoccurring events obviously are events that reoccur. So perhaps once every week, perhaps every day. So if you notice, my lunch break is a reoccurring event. I know this because if I click into it, I've got the event instance here. So that's a little icon that wasn't there on, if we do the one that I just created here, it doesn't have that. But here I know it's reoccurring because it has event instance. And if I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see there is the series option here. So this is going to tell you details about it being reoccurring. So I can see it reoccurs every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday until the 10th of January. And if you wanted to see kind of the master of that series, you can click View Series here, and that's going to open up the event series within the CRM. So here you can view details, and of course, you can again open it in Outlook to make any changes you may want. Okay. So I think that's everything. I'm hoping I've managed to run through everything. I apologize that my voice broke a little bit there. But yeah, I hope it's really exciting and I hope it's what you were all hoping it to be. Um, and yeah, let's go back to the presentation. And I'm now handing over to Tanya for you guys to learn all about how you can actually get this.
So Abby did a very, very nice demo of the calendar. We've also mentioned the tasks before starting this demo. What I want to say is, as you've seen in the demo, these go hand in hand. They're very nice to use together. You have a centralized view of your workload and what you have to do within the CRM. So what we can do, how we are going to get this, what's going to happen next. First of all, I want to mention that the new tasks will be live. So you will be able to turn on the new tasks for your workspace right after the webinar. We hopefully right now have a dev going on and switching an enable button so that it's no longer disabled for you. You can go in the system settings, enable it for yourself. You're going to have it in your workspace. Of course, if it still seems disabled, please refresh the CRM as it's a change that's happening right now behind the scenes in the backend side. However, if you have any issues with this, please just let me know. Contact us or support. Reach out to me privately if you want. I can probably just put my email somewhere. Most of you have it already, so don't hesitate if you have any questions or issues with this. When it comes to the new calendar, we decided we're going to release it with the latest version. So we're going to make an in-house release on the 14th of December, which is going to be version 131. This version will have the new calendar. As you know, we release in batches, so over the next few weeks after the in-house release, we're going to upgrade the CRM workspaces of our customers to the latest version, and you will all have access to the new calendar by default. All you have to do is you have to go in and configure it, make the setup. We're going to have guides, as Abby said. So, of course, if you have any questions with that, please feel free to reach out to us, but it should all be very easy if you follow the guide. And last but not least, both of these ideas were your ideas. They come from from the ideas portal. They are the topmost to highly voted ideas within there. So we highly appreciate your feedback, and because it matters, and we want to be committed to improving the CRM for you guys. We want to continue improving the CRM. We are really looking forward to receiving your feedback. And we want to know what you have to say when it comes to this, what is next for us with the calendar and the new tasks. And please let us know in the new year.
Great.
Another new exciting initiative is the AI initiative, which we're very happy to launch within the new year. We're going to need a set of early adopters who are willing to test this feature for us, be in contact with the product team, with the support and marketing team. So we really are looking forward to people who want to help us trailblaze this. So probably the marketing team is going to send you a survey which you can fill out within the following days, telling us if you're really looking forward to being part of this AI initiative so that we have you in mind, that we can reach out to you within the next few months.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tanya. So, just to quickly do a bit of a key takeaways slide here. So, I ran us through the Outlook calendar integration. As I demonstrated, it is a live real-time view of your Outlook calendar, but in the CRM. And from there, you can create events within the CRM that will also show in your Outlook calendar. So please do start using our calendar. Share your thoughts with us. We really want to make sure it's improved and the changes we're doing are what you guys are wanting. So, as Tanya said, start using it. Get in contact with your customer success manager or directly with Tanya, and we'll be taking the feedback on board. And as Tanya just mentioned, if anybody wants to get involved in our new AI initiative, also please let us know. We've just released the calendar, but of course, we're moving on to our next big feature. So, yeah, please do let us know. I hope that was good. Any questions, please do now type them. I tried to keep the demo quite short and sweet because I anticipated quite a few questions. Equally, if there are any areas within the calendar demo that you wanted me to go over again, feel free to let us know. So let's get straight into these questions. Go ahead and don't worry, you're doing great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Typical that I get ill just before a webinar, isn't it? Jessica, when looking at a colleague's diary where it says busy, are we able to view appointments rather than just busy? I'm not entirely sure I know what you mean, but if I open that back up for you, this is currently what you will see. You will just see it showing as busy or tentative. So very similar in the way that Outlook works when you can't view somebody's calendar. Um, I'm not quite sure what you mean by appointments there. So if maybe you could expand, that would be really great. And that has reminded me of something that I did forget to mention. So I'll quickly run over that now. Is that if you've got an event, so if I go back to today, into today's work week, so I've linked this to a CRM record. And even if I had the CRM calendar sharing turned off, so if, like in this profile, I could only see people as busy, if I linked one of these events to a CRM record, then everybody is going to be able to see that appointment when they go into the actual record. So if you remember, when we go into the company record, you'll be able to see that we've got an event coming up in the next few days. Everybody, all of your CRM users are going to be able to see that. So of course, if you've got any private events that you definitely don't want anybody seeing, just remember not to link them to CRM records because people will be able to see them. So sorry, I went off a bit of tangent there. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, but Jessica, if you could expand on what you mean by able to view appointments, that would be really great. Any way to not have the AI release in the product?
I think I should
Tanya?
yeah, I should pick up this one. So for now, it's not going to be anything released within the product. However, we're looking at the bigger initiative across the access products. We're going to provide more details within the new year on what it is and how we're going to deal with this kind of stuff. But for now, we're looking for people who want to try it. So it's not going to be essentially part of the CRM. It's going to be an addition on top of the CRM functionality that we already have that's going to search within all the CRM areas, give us insights on the things that we can see within the dashboards, that we can see in different records. So it's not going to be released within the product for now. And there's no obligation to have it. Like you can be part of the early adopters program so that we can see if it's helping our customers or not, and how we can improve everything that we have in mind within the next few months
Yeah.
before even
Yeah.
considering to add it to the product
And
itself.
as Tanya said, there it is still very early stages. So this won't be happening next week. It is kind of in the coming months. Will this work on the mobile app in both Outlook and Prospect? Oh, Tanya, that's a really great question. Do you know that one?
I haven't personally tested this on the
Okay.
mobile app. However, I expect that if you have Outlook, like of course we have Outlook on our mobile phones. So if you make any changes, you should probably be able to see your calendar and the changes reflect just as have you seen Abby switch through between the two tabs within Outlook Web and the CRM. However, within the new year, so we have two more quarters of this financial year within the new year. So starting from from next summer, we're going to think about having a mobile app ourselves. We haven't told this to anyone within like our customer base, but we're thinking about how we can make a lighter version of the CRM that will help you within the day-to-day activities that you want to do that are not necessarily related to any records in particular, but more of the day-to-day tasks that you have to handle, and maybe a lighter version of quoting and sending orders and so on. So we're going to test obviously what we have on the mobile version, but also make sure that it works with what we have right now that works on mobile.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're not sure at this point, but I can easily go and ask our developer Simon, and I'll get back to you via email in the coming days on that one specifically. Is there a way to add an opportunity linked with a meeting in the calendar? Yes, so I showed you linking to a company, but you can actually link it to any CRM record. So you can link it to an inquiry, company contact, opportunity, anything. And from this screen, you can, of course, also create new opportunities. So if I was to see if we've got an opportunity in here, I grab the name of it. Okay, test. So if I go back to that one there, and if I unlink this one, I just type in test. Hopefully, it will be able to find something. There you go. You can see we've got some inquiries, contacts, opportunities. So if I link that to the opportunity, again, if I open it there, you'll be able to go to details and you'll be able to see it here. So hopefully that answered your question. What are all the icons on the left side of the page? Oh, do you mean these ones, I presume? That's just our navigation bar. So I actually minimized it, but it's just the usual navigation bar on the left. Hopefully that's what you meant. Jessica, as an external rep out on the road, is it possible to see their appointments with customers rather than just being busy? You just answered, so if they link, then it would show. Yep, so we do have a setting where you can allow all of your users to be able to view your calendar. So they would be able to see more than just this. This is just if you have that sharing turned off. But if you had it turned on, I would be able to see all of the details here. I'd be able to see the subject, the attendees, and all of that lot. So you've got a choice there. But again, as I said, if you link it to the record, then they'll be able to see that that meeting is occurring. So hopefully kind of best of both worlds there for you. I understand we can link a customer, but is there a way to view an opportunity linked to it on the calendar? So I'm going to say not really, because I presume you mean like viewing details of the opportunity within this view. So no, you can't. But as I showed there, it's really easy to go between the two. So you just open up the event, you click this little box icon, and it opens it straight up. To go back to the calendar, you would then just click the X button there. So there isn't a way to kind of view it on the side panel. But perhaps, Tanya, that's some really great feedback for us to look into.
Yeah, really great feedback to look into the new.
Amazing. Oh, so by default, are all event/appointment in colleagues' calendars busy rather than being able to see more information? That's correct. I believe by default the setting is turned off, but I'll just quickly show you in settings. Okay, not called Outlook, probably called Calendar.
Yeah,
Yep, so this is the setting here. So as you can see, it's the setting allow users to view other users' calendar details. By default, when you first connect it, it will be set to no, but you can set this to yes quite easily, as you can see there.
it's worth mentioning that this is an admin setting, so the admin
Yes.
has to decide if everyone within the workspace can see other users' details or not.
Yeah, and it is worth mentioning it will apply to all users. There's no way to kind of have it only show to certain users. It's all or nothing. When setting a task/recall for another user, will it highlight when they are busy with meetings on that day? No, it won't. It's only currently for the events. But again, Tanya, maybe some really great feedback there for you to take on.
Yeah, it's all great feedback. And as you've seen, you can switch between calendars, so you can see if a certain user that you're interested in setting like an event or a recall for has events or recalls already for that certain day. So it's really good that you can navigate between those, but we're going to think of a way in which we can add this on top.
Okay. If a recording is made from a meeting, will the link be saved in the activity window in the CRM? That's a really great question. Tanya, do you know that answer or not? A recording. So if you record a meeting, will you be able to view the recording in the CRM?
I believe not. I believe we for now uh, as for example with the reminders and everything that you receive, if you set up an event, you receive the reminder via Outlook. If you create an event, you're invited to an event, you receive the invitation via Outlook. But it's definitely we can think about with
Yeah.
it in the
And
future.
these are all lots of great suggestions. So
Yeah,
don't worry if we're saying not yet. It is very much not yet. This is kind of our first iteration of the calendar. As I'm sure all of you know, when we release features, we do tend to make improvements to them as time goes by. So don't you worry, we will be taking on all of this feedback. Thank you. When will I be able to access the calendar? I believe, as Tanya said, when
yeah.
131 gets released, which is sometime this week. So keep an eye on the banner that comes up in your CRM, which says you've been updated to the latest version. Once you have been, you'll be able to connect to it instantly. Is there a way to drag a company record from a list of customers or prospect to the calendar to create an event for that record? Um,
No, there's no way to drag it. For now, we just have that drop down in which you can select whatever type of record you want to assign it against, and it will show in the timeline. but we don't have this functionality yet.
Mhm.
Obviously, something we can consider for in the future.
Yeah, and it would be really great, David, if you could maybe contact Tanya to get a few more details on that one, because that one sounds quite interesting. Can you send meeting invites to customers, or is this only for internal use? Yep, so you can add customers to your events. You just have to grab their email address, and then they'll get the usual Outlook email that says, you know, you've been added to this meeting, accept or decline. So that's all handled within Outlook. The customers won't have any different experience as to whether you're creating an event in the CRM compared to within Outlook. In the same vein, there's no separate setting where you can kind of configure those emails like you can perhaps with order confirmation or anything. We don't have any of that set up. So it's just the email you'll get through Outlook. With the recording, I guess a quick link or something would be great. I agree, Nick. I think it would be great
Yeah,
to have it under the join in Outlook and join the Teams meeting and maybe even get it added automatically to the documents tab of the CRM record if it's linked to one. I think, no, that's a really great
thank you for the
idea.
feedback.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you, Nick. Appreciate it. David will do because there's more to that as well for those of us that visit many customers in one day. Totally agree, David, which is why I said reach out to Tanya so then we can maybe hash it out a little bit more because I'm sure there's a lot more to your suggestion than just kind of dragging and dropping. So
yeah,
we would love to discuss that more. If you don't have Tanya's detail, please do reach out to your customer success manager and we'll be able to get that meeting organized because it sounds really interesting.
yeah. It's really good, and I would be grateful for all of the feedback in case you want to have any one-to-one calls with me or anything. Of course, we didn't want to hold back and make the calendar like the best version of itself and not deliver the calendar to you for months and months because we're still working. So we wanted you to have like the minimum viable product that would benefit all of you, our users, our customers, and like based on your feedback to come up with the enhancements that would make the most sense to you. So that's why for now we have this functionality, which I hope is going to be useful for all of you. And within the next month, starting from January, we're open to feedback. We want to discuss it all with you. And like as soon as we make any updates or enhancements, you're going to see within the release notes. We can have a follow-up session if you want after a few months after actioning on feedback. The difference between the first phase with the tasks and this phase with the calendar is that for the tasks, we only had a set of early adopters, like a few customers had access to it. Whereas now we want to release this to everyone so everyone can benefit from the new calendar and the new tasks. However, it means we don't have it like done perfectly just yet. We are still looking for feedback from you.
Yeah, but if anything, that's a good thing because David, your suggestion there might not be something we thought about, but we're really thankful for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's all the questions we've got so far. Tanya and I will stay here for another couple of minutes in case anybody has any last minute questions. So feel free to take some time back for the rest of your day. I hope you all have an amazing week and happy holidays if we don't see you until the new year. But yeah, we'll be here for another couple of minutes to answer any more questions. But it's been lovely and I hope you've all enjoyed it and are excited for the calendar. Thank you very much, David. Thank you for coming. Not had any more questions coming in, so I hope that
yeah,
means we've done such a good job that you guys have got no questions. As Tanya said, we've written guides already for this, so if anybody wants more information, please do head over to our um, documentation portal and you can read up some more details on there. Obviously, this webinar will be on our YouTube channel as well, so if you wanted to watch back, you're more than welcome to. Um, but yeah, we'll stay perhaps another minute, Tanya, in case
yeah.
anybody really does have any last minute questions, but it's been great.
Thank you for attending and thank you for all the feedback so far. It's been really good.